Welcome to Architrave Gaming. I'm the Archmaster, Matthias. Today's video is going to be me reading a comment I left to someone else about tabletop and the different styles of play, which are really just different hobbies, and I'm going to explain something. So, many people in the tabletop space don't actually like tabletop adventure games, like D&D 5e. They were brought in through something like live plays, like Critical Role, which are really just entertainment the same way that a movie is. And so when they get to the table, they expect to be force-fed entertainment, just like a movie. And so they expect railroading, they expect a story to be told to them, they expect the GM to make a story. This commenter is like, hey, my players actually want to be railroaded, and I just want to give them a world and let them be the free agents in the world and go out adventuring and whatnot. And so now currently, it's hard to find gamers that actually like to play tabletop adventure games the way they were originally intended. We have so many people who want to twist tabletop into collaborative storytelling or authorial storytelling, where the GM's just the author and he tells you a story, or therapy, or any number of things that aren't simple adventure gaming, the way it was originally made. It's not that any of those things are bad activities, it's just confusing when they all go by the same name of tabletop RPG, or we're all playing D&D. They really aren't the same thing, and that's one thing I'm talking about here. For an analogy, it's like we're all using the same tools, but we're actually trying to engage in different hobbies. So the analogy is the modern tabletop gaming, like D&D, the modern tabletop adventure gaming space is like five people trying to get it's like five people trying to do arts and crafts, right? They're all using wood, glue, toothpicks, and paper, right? They're all using the same tools, but one person is building origami and someone else is building houses, like model houses, and the third person is playing table football, and a fourth person is creating stick figures, and a fifth person is just making a mess and eating it, right? They're using the same tools, but they're not actually engaging in the same hobby, right? Modern tabletop players use dice and rule books, just like, in arts and crafts, you're using glue and paper and toothpicks, right? So modern, we're all using dice and rule books, but one group is trying to tell a story, and another group is trying to have a real adventure, and another group just wants an escapist power fantasy, and they want to feel powerful without working for it, and another group just wants to hang out with friends, etc. Keeps going. It's about time we all get honest with what we actually want from games, and part of this video and future videos on my channel is to actually give people the vocabulary, the education to know, oh, wait a minute, these aren't all the same thing. You're like, no, they aren't. So that we can actually figure out what we do personally like playing, so that we can attract other people who want to play those things, and so we can actually get games that we want to play instead of being stuck in games that we don't really like and we don't really know why, and half the players are here for a bunch of different reasons and whatnot. So there is authorial storytelling where the GM is just telling a story and the players are there to listen, right? I have friends who actually like that, where they just want to be told a story, right? I personally would hate that. That's what I go to a movie for, right? But it's not wrong for them to want to just hang out with friends and be told a story. That's fine, but that's not technically playing D&D. That's a different hobby. Yeah, you're using the D&D rule book and you have a character sheet in front of you, but you're not actually playing it the way it was intended, the way it was designed. You're not going on adventures and whatnot. You're just having the GM tell you a story, and you understand the story through the framework of D&D 5e, but you're not actually playing D&D 5e. It's like if you get the board game for Monopoly, right? You get the board and you put it on the table and you have all the figures. Then you're like, all right, I'm gonna have my figure attack you. I won. And then like, oh, we're gonna do this. And you're doing stuff like, are you playing Monopoly? No, you're using the board and the tools and you're playing Monopoly, but you're not, because you aren't following the rules, right? You can only say you're playing the game if you're actually following the rules of the game and doing what the game says and playing in the way that the game was designed to be played, right? According to its rules, not according to the preface or something, because even in D&D 5e, you open the book and it's like, by the way, this is a collaborative storytelling game. It's like, and then you go through the game and it's not. It's actually an adventure game, right? They don't even know what type of game they're making, right? That's how dumb they are. Anyway, so yeah, you have to actually look at the actual rules of the game, not the preface or the forward or some post online where they tell you how to do it. Look at the rules. Look at the actual meat of the game. What is the game? It's a tabletop adventure game. There you go. That's the way it's designed to be played. Your adventuring day, your 8 encounters a day, etc., right? So yeah, it's okay to do whatever activities you want. If you want to hang out with friends and you just want an excuse to hang out with friends and they have D&D at the table, that's fine. If you want to go through therapy and like, man, I really want to, work through something mentally, so I'm going to make a character that's going through the same thing so I can live vicariously through him. Go ahead. If you want to just do a power fantasy where you just win all the time because, you enjoy it, go ahead, right? But we shouldn't all say, by the way, I'm going to go play D&D. It's like, no, you're not. You're only playing D&D if you're playing D&D according to his rules. If you're actually going on an adventuring day, Dungeons and Dragons, you're dungeon delving, you're slaying dragons, etc. All the rest of the stuff, just be honest and tell people, yeah, I use D&D as a framework. I mean, like, I keep the book open at the table and I reference it sometimes, but I'm not actually playing it. Just be honest and say, yeah, I don't play D&D. I don't actually like adventuring into dungeons all the time. That's not for me. I like, collaborative storytelling. I like when we all get to tell a good story, or I like when the GM tells me a cool story, or I like to just feel powerful, etc. Just be honest, tell people your own style, so we don't have all this confusion where it's like, oh man, I want to play D&D, but I don't like those players or that one or that group. I was in a group and they didn't, blah blah blah, like where everyone's just so kind of confused and groping around in the dark trying to find the game they like. It's like, let's just use a framework, which I will publish eventually, on YouTube, and say, hey, here's a framework for understanding exactly the different types of play there are. And yeah, they all use an RPG book, right? But they aren't actually all the same hobby. Just like everyone can use wood glue, but not everything you can do with wood glue is the same hobby. You can use wood glue for arts and crafts. You can use wood glue for, I don't know, bombs? I have no idea. But like, you can use the tool for a bunch of different reasons. Let's all actually just be on the same page about what we're using it for, right? That's why this is here, to let you know, like, it's okay if you want collaborative storytelling. Just don't tell people, by the way, I'm playing D&D. Like, you're collaborative storytelling. Just be honest, like, D&D is an adventure game. If you're going to adventure, then you're playing D&D. If not, then you're using the D&D rulebook for a purpose other than the way it's designed, That's fine. It's okay to do that. Repurpose stuff all you want. Go ahead, mod the heck out of everything. You're not doing anything wrong, but you're not playing D&D either. And that's, just be honest, right? Just be aware of that. Like, oh wow, I'm actually doing a different hobby. I'm using these tools, but I'm actually doing something else with those tools. That's it. Anyway, thanks for watching. God bless. Have a good day.